Hi everyone, it's Connor. Welcome to or back to my channel. So I just wanted to film a quick tank tour and give updates on all my tanks. Since my last tank tour and updates on tanks a few months ago, a lot has changed, especially in the last month or so. So I just want to go through an update on all my tanks and then the upcoming future plans. Anyway, there's a lot of changes, so it's easy if I just walk through each tank one by one. So let's head over to the 65 gallon right behind me. All right, so here's my 65 gallon. You'll notice there is a few extra fish in here than normal, and it's actually pretty stocked. Now, the reason for that is that my 36 gallon bow front aquarium leaked, so I kind of had to do a lot of rearrangement, and that's actually kind of one of the main reasons for a lot of changes just in general to all my tanks. You'll see actually over here, here's actually the bow front that I have to get rid of. It's just sitting out here right now. It leaked in the bottom right there. It's leaking from right around there. But anyway, I set up a 40 gallon breeder as a replacement that I got the other day. It was on sale on Petco for only like 50 bucks, so it's a pretty good deal. The fish in the 36 gallon had to get moved. Initially when this leaked, I put the Mollies and the Corydoras in a 10 gallon quarantine tank that I had just for a few days. And then the Yoyo Loaches and the one Angelfish I had in that tank went to the 65 gallon. Now moving back to the 65 gallon here. Since the last time I did do an update, you'll see there's a lot of changes to scape, some of the fish, pretty much everything in the tank, even the equipment actually. So anyway, talking through the fish first, you'll see the Yoyo Loaches are down here when they were in the 36 gallon before. And so they're actually doing really good. Then they've actually helped the clown loaches actually be more social, especially my large ones who were kind of hiding a lot recently. The other really big thing that I teased about in the title and the thumbnail is that my two polar parrots paired up here. And you'll see this polar parrot actually is pretty small still. That's the Shishimi, and we have Suki, and that's the male. And they paired up and they actually had babies even though this polar parrot's still pretty small. I'm not sure if we can see them now. Yeah, there's one down there. Very hard to see on camera. I'll show some closer up images or clips when I post this video, edit them in. But yeah, there's probably about, there's a bunch actually right over here. You can see those pretty good. There's about 20 babies or so that we counted. As I show some more clips here of the polar parrot babies, I wanted to elaborate on their behavior since pairing up. A few weeks after introducing the female, I noticed the male getting very defensive. He ended up harassing the clown loaches a bunch and picking fights with the blood parrots. That was the main reason for the aquascape change. Since they had their babies, they've defended them aggressively. Thankfully, they picked one side of the tank, so now it's peaceful as long as other fish avoid that side of the tank. But they've been defending them super well. I'm actually surprised because I know that, especially with the loaches, they're quick and I know they love to eat, that I'm surprised that so many are still alive and doing well, and with the blood parrots too. These two have been very aggressive in defending this whole corner of this territory. That's definitely theirs, and there's actually been a good amount of fights just with the blood parrots, and the blood parrots go over to there. But anyway, it's cool to see them breed, and so I'll probably have a lot of content related to breeding polar parrots coming out soon. But cool to see still so many fry still just alive and hanging out with them, and they're protecting them so well. As far as the scape, you'll notice you probably didn't see this scape really except maybe in the background of some of my videos. I never did an update or a build video on it or anything, but basically when these two polar parrots first paired up, they were getting very aggressive, especially towards the clown loaches. And then also the blood parrots kind of just like to chase the clown loaches away too. So the clown loaches, especially the larger ones, were just getting chased back and forth through the tank a lot. So kind of decided I wanted to make more caves, so we made this very large cave structure. It was actually in here that they actually laid their eggs, although I didn't see them. I didn't know that there was going to be babies until there was. But I noticed them defending the area a lot. I think they actually had them like down in the box structure. Anyway, there's a good amount of caves here. The blood parrots tend to take that big larger cave right there, and then the polar parrots, this is their side. And then the loaches are all just kind of in between. And then we were going to eventually plant it, but we never got around to it. So right now there's just kind of leftover plants that were in my 36 gallon, all the swords, and then just random newbies that are either in this tank or the 36 gallon. Anyway though, with this scape, I actually am going to redo the whole thing pretty soon. I'm going to do my 55 first, but this will be second, so I'm going to redo this in about a month, I think. And then the other thing, talking through what has changed, is the equipment. You know, I've always had a canister filter on this tank, inline heater. Unfortunately, the canister filter leaked, and this was over a month ago. And it was actually a pretty bad leak. Thankfully, I caught it in time. There really wasn't any damage on the floor. The floor really wasn't that wet, but the hole under the tank was all wet. I had cleaned it out, and then I guess the next night something happened with the seal, and so it leaked. And yeah, even when I had moved the canister filter to move it to the bathroom, it was just like completely leaking if I tilted it any direction. So yeah, I know that I have looked up. There is ways to fix the seals and stuff, but living in an apartment like this, it wasn't really. Seemed like kind of a risk. I wouldn't really have time to be like testing it and seeing, okay, it leaked, now I need to clean up, and it wasn't really worth the risk. So anyway, I just used the Title 55 I have for now, and then I have another sponge filter that I've been running, and I've been running these two on the tank. What I'm planning to do for the fish in this tank in the future is I'm actually going to move the blood parrots out of this tank, put them in the 55, which I'll get to talking about in a minute. But I'm gonna just keep the Yoyo Loaches, Clown Loaches, and then the 2 polar parrots, their pair, and then obviously as the fry goes up, keep them in this tank as they grow up. I think that'll be good. It'll let the 2 polar parrots have their own territory, and it'll definitely give them a cave, and they can kind of have that and defend that, and then the loaches can kind of go all around, and it should reduce their aggression a lot. The problem that's happened recently is the polar parrots will chase the loaches away from their area, but then they'll just go to the blood parrots, and the blood parrots will chase them away from their area. So especially my larger loach, Clown Loach Rita, she's gotten harassed a lot. I don't know, as soon as they see her, they just like chase her. So hoping this will help a lot. I think it will. Next, we'll go over to the 55 gallon. So this is the tank where a lot has changed. Previously it was goldfish in this tank. Right now you'll see it's home to pretty much all the fish that were in the 36 gallon. So we have the Mollies, the Corydoras, and then my one Angelfish. And as I said, I will, after I escape this, be putting the blood parrots in here. I definitely don't want to put them in now because there's no cave or anything. I think they're just going to harass the Mollies. And there's a chance when I do move them over here, they do harass the Mollies anyway, because the Mollies are so much smaller than them, but I think it should be okay, especially if they have a cave, but I'll keep an eye on it. As far as the scape, right now there's no scape. There's just pretty much what plants were the smaller plants that were doing good for the 36 gallon. I put them in here. Just have some of the rocks and driftwood from the 36 gallon. The plan I do plan to make is kind of an island in the middle. A lot of caves, sort of like what I have in the 65 gallon right now. But in this tank, and then I actually think I want to use the big driftwood that I had that I bought a long time ago, and use hornwort and kind of make a sort of a heavily planted sort of island sort of look. I have a little design I made that I can show here. It's kind of hard to describe. As far as equipment, right now I'm just running a heater on the tank, air stones, and then a Tidal 75. And for this tank, I'm just going to keep that equipment the same. I think that'll be plenty for once I move over the blood parrots even. I don't see any issues, but if I have to add more filtration, I will. But I'm just going to keep it simple with this tank. And then last, I want to go over to the new aquarium. So this is the 40 gallon breeder. You will notice if you've been following the channel, there is not the larger goldfish anymore. Unfortunately, Dropsy came back and she got sick very quick, and about a month ago she passed away. But so right now I have these 2 Arandas. Basically, since I didn't have the large one anymore, I thought that, and I didn't really like having the goldfish in the 55 because it was so tall. I kind of wanted a shallower tank so it's easier to feed them and such. I thought a 40 gallon breeder was kind of the perfect dimensions. I knew this stand would support it. I knew the dimensions weren't going to fit it, so I got 2 wood shelves just from Home Depot that put on it. They pretty much fit it it's like slightly over the edge, but it's still supporting both sides of the rim, so it should be good. But anyway, set this up yesterday, put them in there, and definitely be changes to this tank. I am running for the equipment a Tidal 55, and I'm going to keep it like that, and just a heater when needed. The light was, it is for a much smaller tank, so it's not that bright in the tank, and I didn't actually fit on the rim, so I had to tape it on. So that's just a temporary solution. So I will be getting a new light for this tank. And this will be the last tank I escape, but I'm not really completely sure what I want to do. I think I definitely want to do black sand because I think it'll look good with everything else in the tank. But I'm not sure. I might do pothos like around the edge and around the back, hanging out. that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but otherwise it'll probably just be more of like a minimal scape. So we'll kind of see when I get to it, but otherwise these two fish are doing great in here. But anyway, that wraps up the tour of my current tanks. There are a lot of changes over the next month to scape each of these tanks, and I'll plan to post another tank tour at the start of the summer once I complete these projects. But be sure to subscribe though, as I'll be uploading build videos as I scape each tank. And along with content about my tanks, expect content around my polar patch breeding in the near term. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch everyone in the next video.